Good evening, one. Good evening, all. And welcome... let's just turn this down slightly. There we go. Welcome to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. Yes, I did forget what I was going to say there for just a brief moment. Blee, blue, blee, blue. That's a dial-up modem. A terrible dial-up modem. Welcome, one and all, to today on Doomed. We're going to be continuing Alessandra Zorzi's journey of science, exploration, botany, and perhaps more importantly, riches. In the feast of Hemlock Vale. Today, it is the dawn of the second day, where I'm just going to look at the subtitle of Dawn of the Second Day. Dawn of the Second Day, in which we prepare for the feast under a blanket of rain. Doesn't sound very nice. 48 hours remain. Exactly, Flower. Very, very Majora's Mask. I feel like you can tell the people who created this campaign are of a certain age, of a certain vintage. So, hello and welcome to Doomed. As always, we're going to start with a little recap of where we are in the story, and then we're going to dive in. I have a lot I want to get done on stream today. I want to prelude. Then, I think we're going to get to choose our scenario, which I definitely want to talk to all of y'all about, see what people want. And then, yeah, that's where we're going to be. What else do I have to say? Yeah, that's about it. How's everyone out there in Chatland? The story so far. Alessandra Zorzi, Countess by day, socialite by day, absolute badass criminal cat thief by night. House. Has ventured to Arkham on her crime spree at the request of a mysterious criminal, Zamakona. She robbed some old dude blind and took an extra little jewel for herself, the silver moth, a trinket that seems to want to draw her blood. She was also, while there, reconnected with her old contact, Dr. Henry Armitage, who sent her to be the face of a scientific expedition to Hemlock Isle. Where, coincidence? I think not, they're about to hold a feast. Yeah, so they've arrived. Alessandra Zorzi's made friends with as many people as possible. She checked out an old cave, ended up as part of a cave-in, ended up having to ride a minecart out to freedom, but managed to rescue a few of the townsfolk while there, including one, Simon Atwood. Simon Atwood is the nephew of the leader, Mother Rachel. The leader of the community, I should say. The cult. Did I say cult? Simon Atwood is a troublemaker, and Alessandra figures he's going to have some trouble up his sleeve during the feast, which she can use as cover, maybe for, I don't know, thieving? Whatever she needs to do. That first night, she did not finish her meal, but instead went out with Mother Rachel and, I can't remember her name, Dr. Rosa Marquez, in search of the other member of the expedition team, Bertie Musgrave. Bertie was out, just having a good time with poetry in the woods. Alessandra managed to escape the woods relatively unscathed, mostly through a combination of her magical silver tongue, as it were, her ability to communicate with all manner of life, even non-human life, command them, suggest things to them. But some good old-fashioned bullets also help do the trick. Flower asks an excellent question. What is Alessandra's exit strategy? I think that she's like, well, our boat's due back on the eve of the feast. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I just don't know. This is Dawn of the Second Day, where we prepare for the feast. Where is it? Where we prepare for the feast under a blanket of rain. So that's our story so far. I'm loving this idea of the preludes, where we get to, just kind of wander around the Vale, get to know people. We're good to chat, and that's Alessandra's whole deal. Does anyone have any questions about where we're at? And hi to all those who are here, of course, for Doomed as well. I should have greeted you all individually. I spent some of the XP that I got in the first evening. I am actually going to go and resolve that now. Is it before you draw your opening hand? Yeah, so we'll read the intro first, and then we'll do that. But I bought a copy of a permanent called Bewitching. Crosshair, it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking out my window. It's sunny. I don't actually know how warm it is, but it looks absolutely glorious. Few clouds in the sky. There was some aurora borealis, northern lights, last night. It was very faint where we were, but still visible, which is pretty cool. Oh god, is that the character trivia? Maple syrup is her favorite sweet addition to beverages. Who created the silver moth? Now that is an excellent question. The collector of rare artifacts claims that the silver moth was crafted by a jeweler working out of Milan in Italy. The truth, however, is a little more unclear. If you go and speak to that ancient jeweler, or rather his grandson, he'll throw up his arms, make the sign of the cross, and try to dispel you, knowing that the silver moth carries evil. The silver moth may have been crafted by this Milanese jeweler, but the components of it, the silver, the jewels that went into making it, were all disassembled from an ancient Celtic artifact. Yeah, there you go. No. Let's go with Romanian. Yeah. An ancient Romanian artifact was disassembled, parts of it melted down, and remade into the silver moth, but it never lost its taste for what its creator intended for it. Blood. There we go. Ah, yes, that's right, Flower. Okay, so we're doing that. Thank you. Let's do it. Okay, Bewitching says, look at this. Love this art. Permanent. Exceptional means it costs 6 XP instead of 3. Ugh. Before you draw your opening hand, search your deck for up to 3 different trick cards, attach them face down to Bewitching, shuffle your deck. Great. Reaction when you engage an enemy, when you become engaged with an enemy. Exhaust Bewitching, either draw an attached card, or search the top 9 cards of your deck for a copy of an attached card, draw it, and shuffle your deck. I think so that's a good shout, Flower. I feel like it's... I mean, poor Guardians, you know? Poor Guardians not getting the, best version of certain things. Or having the best version of certain things, but also available to other classes. Stick to the Plan is a very good comparison point. Stick to the Plan is also a 3 XP exceptional, so 6 XP permanent, that you attach 3 different supplies or tactics. Yeah, it's supplies or tactics. You may exhaust it to play that event as if it were in your hand. So things like Emergency Cash, but also things like Dynamite Blast, but also things like Ever Vigilant, but so either setup cards, money cards, or tactics, which tend to do damage. Bewitching, similarly, is 3 different tricks. You get the draw for free when you engage an enemy, or if you know you have more copies of that card floating around and you don't need one, you can search your deck for one instead. I'm just going to quickly go through and pull out all of my tricks. I don't actually have that many, but we'll see what we have and we'll decide what's the best thing to put underneath us, as it were. Vamp is a trick. I actually should know these off by heart, but I totally don't. Beguile is a trick, but we have a copy already. Persuasion is a trick. And Snitch is a trick. Exactly. No, you're 100% right, Crosshair. I think the thing is it's a class distinction, right? Yeah, it's more I think this is less flexible. You have to have an enemy. You have to engage an enemy, and then you can use one of the tricks. But you'd only use the tricks if you want to use them on an enemy. So, okay, Beguile is an obvious one. That's going under Bewitching. Snitch is also an obvious one. That's the one that gives us clues for parleying. Now, I think we probably want Stir the Pot. Stir the Pot is our big deals a bunch of damage card. So I'm going to put those there, and then we'll put the rest back. Now, of course, because I have a bunch of one-ofs, the searching 9 is not as useful. I can search 9 for a copy of Beguile. Oh, right, I have to actually do all of my other stuff too, eh? We draw our opening hand. I never do this on Doomed, because you're absolutely right, Flower, and Cthulhu had mentioned it as well. All this stuff happens before you even, like, do setup, which is weird to me, because that's never how I've done it on Doomed, but that's okay. Let's do it that way today. That's a weakness. We put it back. Okay. Lockpicks, yes. Fox Mask, yes. I don't need the rest of this in a prelude? Prelude. I like Savant, actually. Look at those finger curls. What a cutie. And I like having a bunch of wild icons. Oh, Cthulhu, I don't know. Short answer, I don't know. Is it in here? Is it in the fan-made accessories? No, it's not. So no is the short answer. Yes, that's right, Crosshair. Which is very exciting. Hello, Aragwen, as well. Welcome to Doomed. But thank you for the reminder, Cthulhu. I'm going to try to get that before the next times. We'll see. Aha. That's the ticket. So, this is an attachment helper. Which I believe basically just does that. Pretty fucking exciting. And then if you click on the button, it pops the card out. So now they're all inside the sledge. Thanks, Flower. And it says what skill icons it has, which is quite cute. All right, this is my mulligan. Let's have a look at where we are, day 2, and see where we're at, and see what's going to happen to our good friend Alessandra Zorzi. She's a group toboggan. Whee! Oh, I love it, Crosshair. Yeah, just hop on top there. Whee! Okay. All right. Just in time for the good stuff. Hi, weirdness. Welcome to Doomed. We're just about to start the dawn of the second day. We've rescued Bertie Musgrave. We are bewitching now, which is great. We have a good relationship with Simon Atwood. Let's actually quickly check that. The bear was wounded. That sounds good. Simon hatched a plan. Butt stuff. Flower, what? Oh, Rosebud. And we have 1-level relationships with most other people. But River shared their ambitions. I think Simon is the key. We're going to try to find Simon. Okay. Dawn of the second day. You wake up feeling utterly drained. A light rain falls as you walk outside, but even the rain doesn't seem to dampen the Vale's spirits. Oh, happiness! A ring of children in animal masks sing a lilting melody as they continue decorating. Uh-oh. I just saw the first words, the fatigue. The fatigue from the long night catches up with you. Motherfucker. Draw tokens from the chaos bag at random until you have 2 non-symbol tokens. Replace these tokens with a chaos token of a value 1 lower for the remainder of the campaign. If you cannot replace a token, repeat this process until... Okay, so if, for example, you already had like a -8, there's no lower... You can't go... There's no lower numerical token. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so we're drawing 2 non-symbol tokens, and we're replacing them with worse tokens. So that's great. Okay. All right, a -3 is becoming a -4. That's a symbol. And a -1 is becoming a -2. Okay. 1, 3, 2, 4. Yeah, that's it, Flower. I feel like the token bag is now a crime. Ideally, I would have pulled the +1 and the 0. That would have been great. But yeah, okay, so 1 and 3 become 2 and 4. Well, that is annoying. 1, whoops. We're going to remove a 1 and remove a 3, and we're going to add a 2. We're going to add a 4. Here's what our breakpoints now look like. 2 -4s is really not nice. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Check your campaign log. Each investigator who finished their meal must read the Hemlock Curse. Ruh-roh, each other investigator must read Gnawing Hunger. Well, I remember we did not finish our meal. Yeah, it's not here. Yeah, I suppose, eh, Cthulhu? Oh, God. Gnawing hunger. Your stomach grumbles as the smell of fresh eggs and biscuits waft out of the boarding house. Your hunger has caught up to you. Suffer a physical trauma. Oof! Proceed to prelude setup. So, I believe damage is... That's experience. I believe damage is placed before you suffer... You have to take... Yeah, I think... I'm just gonna check. Before I start yelling about things, let's, where is setup? I just have to remember how this works exactly, because there's timing of, like, when you put your damage and horror on you. Why isn't there a section called scenario? Oh, scenario setup, maybe. No. I tend to agree with you, Crosshair, but we are going to find out. Setting up the game. Simple chaos bags, draw opening hands. Take trauma, damage, horror. Bam. I like myself a little +1. I like myself a little +1 in the bag. Me too. I like it too. It's nice. Okay, so we don't take the extra damage, but we will starting on night 2. Gather all cards from the following encounter sets, blah, blah, blah. Put the day 2 time marker card into play. Are you still hungry? Each investigator begins at the boarding house. Oh, I already did that, I guess. That's nice. Look at that. It's a nice little boarding house. Okay. We're going to get into the story very, very shortly. Really excited about that. Gather the residents encounter set. Remove each resident whose name is crossed off. Oh, Judith Park is at the crossroads. Place doom on the agenda equal to the number of investigators you are now ready to begin. Okay, so we start with 1 doom. Agenda 1A, dark clouds. Dreary clouds threaten rain as thunder rumbles overhead. Locals bustle about making preparations. Forced! When you draw a weakness, cancel its revelation effect and discard it. Mwah. 1 out of 6 dooms. We have a few rounds. Act 1A, dawn of the 2nd day. The village continues preparations with cheery resolve despite the dour weather. Investigators cannot take damage and horror or be defeated. Objective, talk to the locals and learn more about Hemlock Isle. Okay. And I guess we'll look at this, although I imagine this will change soon. The skulls are -2. It's currently day 2. Cultists, of which I have none, I believe, are +1. You automatically succeed if it's a parley attempt, because you're part of the cult. Tablets are -2. I also don't think I have any of those. If you have fewer than 3 cards in hand, treat it as a 0. And Elder Things -1. If this is a parley attempt, reveal another token. We're preparing. We're preparing ourselves. I've got things to play. I've got stuff to do. But let's see. Have a look here. We're starting at the boarding house. That's such a good question, Cthulhu. I have to assume no, because, like... I have to assume no, because then, because of the way preludes work, you wouldn't take your trauma in the actual scenario part, and that feels... I mean, it feels cheap, I guess. Right? Because you don't reset things and take more trauma. Oh, you can heal. Don't know why I would, though. You ask around about the veil. Okay. All right, let's have a look. What do I need to play? Do I need clues right now? I definitely want a fox mask out, so I think I'm going to play the fox mask. Knowing that there are... Oh, good shout. Knowing that there are, children playing out in the crossroads of the village of Hemlock Vale, knowing that fine clothes more than anything. Yeah, actually, I desperately want my fine clothes out. I'll keep this for... Jeez, sorry, guys. You know what? I'm actually going to put the coffee over here so that doesn't happen again. Alessandra pulls on her handcrafted fox mask. The wise trickster. This has kept her through thick and thin so far, and there seems to be some sort of magic in it. However, second action. I want to just... There's nothing scary here. I want to just get to talking. You ask around about the veil. Codex 9. Let's do it, because we're here, right? boarding house. Ms. Olmsted is more than happy to answer your questions as she sets plates heaped with succulent fruit and sizzling meats. Oh, my hunger, my hunger. Don't forget to come to the dance this evening. Everyone will be there, she smiles. Your mouth waters at the scent of the food, but you also catch the acrid undercurrent. Choose one of the options below to resolve. Investigators at boarding house may spend any number of actions as a group to choose that many additional options. An investigator may trigger this codex again. Leia was supposed to prepare the feast in the crossroads. If she's there, I know she'd appreciate your help. We can move. Simon's probably hiding in the field. We're going to choose that one. And Gideon is probably at the commons, like always. Do I just spend a bunch of actions? I want to keep my... Oh no, I only have one more plus a parley. So in fact, I will take... Simon's probably hiding in the field. Search the set-aside residence encounter set for Simon Atwood, and put him into play at the old mill. The old mill. Yeah. Hiya. Just looking for people without spoiling too much, right? All right, Simon's out in the old mill because we like this guy, right? Yeah, but I don't have an extra action flower. Tragic. I played Fox Mask. I spent an action to look at the boarding house, and then I have an action to get Simon out. If I have a fourth action, but it can only be used to parley. It can only be used to parley, and this is not a parley action. Cthulhu, I'll salute. I hope that it is a scenario that you've played, but we'll see. Oh! Of course it is. Thanks, Flower. So then, in fact, in that case, yes, I will move to the crossroads because I can parley from there and move from there and stuff. So, Simon's probably hiding in the field. Leia was supposed to prepare the feast in the crossroads. If she's there, I know she'd appreciate your help. Thank you. It doesn't cost an action to choose one. It costs an action to choose two. So I will do that. I'm going to move to the to the crossroads. And from here, I have a free action to parley. Judith Park is here at the crossroads, and it says spend X resources, where X is the current day, to parley. Let's do that. I like to get to know people, and I think Alessandra's probably kind of into Judith. She's known as the muscle, but I believe that is just because of the size of her gun. And that is not a euphemism. Let's go parley action, 2 resources, because it's day 2. Parley, Codex 7. Judith Park. Judith leans against the side of the Atwood house, polishing her rifle as she observes passers-by. These sweet little lambs don't even know what I have to go through to keep them safe. And hopefully they never will, Jomo. You realize she's addressing her rifle, and not you. She stops suddenly, as if aware of your presence, and locks eyes with you. Oh. Check Judith Park's notes. If Judith saved your ass! But I don't, right? So, otherwise, draw a card. You may play a weapon from your hand, ignoring its cost. And that's it, right? Because I don't proceed to Judith 2, so I don't get to go to 3 and 4. Yeah, okay. So, draw a card. You may play a weapon from your hand, ignoring its cost. I don't have a weapon yet. Draw a card! Not a weapon. Okay, well, it is what it is. These credentials should be a weapon. They're so dangerous. Okay. A great first turn. We upkeep? Another copy of Lockpigs. Yay. We go to 2 Doom. There's no damage or horror. There's no encounter deck, so we go right away back to the investigation phase. Should we ask the locals about the Veil? Yes, just to see what's going on. Action, sorry. Alessandra is unsure about Judith. She seems... I don't know. She seems aloof, you know, sort of... She seems standoffish. Something about her is just making Alessandra a little nervous. Lufa. You ask the locals about the Veil. Codex Dis. The crossroads. Leia shouts to a cadre of workers. Oh, right, because Leia's there, right? Leia shouts to a cadre of workers to cover the effigy with tarps as the rain falls. Can't have that effigy getting wet. The dozens of small mirrors ring like chimes as the festival decorations are sheltered from the rain. Mirrors. What are they going to be reflecting? In a large white tent, Leia looks up as you approach. Oh, perfect timing. Oh, sorry, she's the cook, right? Oh, perfect timing. Take these over to Tad's as soon as possible. Much obliged. She nods to a box heaped with worn farming tools. Draw a card. Remember that you're running an errand. I'm running an errand. I have to take them to Tad's General Store, which of course is exactly the opposite direction as the old mill, but I think we're going to have time to do everything. Draw a card. Cool. Free trigger. We're running an errand. So Alessandra's like, yep, of course. You know, in New York and in Chicago and across the sea, like, she would never be asked to do something as basic as run an errand. But here on the island, things work differently, and Alessandra wants to make as many friends as possible. If there are exactly 1 or 2 investigators in the game, move. Whee! Free trigger. The old mill. Now, Boston, huh? Hey, errands galore. After you discover a clue at the old mill, we look at a codex, and we get to keep the clue between scenarios, which is nice. And Simon says, parley, test agility 2 if you succeed. Blah. So that's our going to be, we have several actions here. We have a free action to parley. I'm going to start with that one. Actually, I want to try and get the clue first. I feel like that's better. I'm not going to bother playing a lockpicks. I'm going to commit a lockpicks to go to 5 to 2. Nice. Okay, cool. We get this clue and we keep it. Alessandra has heard that Simon's somewhere out here in the field, and so she's looking around, right? The morning breeze carries the fresh scent of lupines, asters, yarrow, and meadowsweet into the vale. Oh, what a lovely place. 12. The old mill. The old mill is eerily silent as you poke around the undergrowth. As thunder rumbles overhead, a long-legged grasshopper flits through the air. You note that the insect has misshapen black wings. Draw 3 cards? So generous. Pow! Woohoo! Look at all these things. Meadow, sweet! Reading if I didn't say it already. Hello and welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. We're exploring the Vale. NBD. Well, let's parley with our good friend Simon. Agility 2, if you succeed. So, I'm at 4 to 2. I'd love to commit something to this test. I don't need a savant. That'll be fine. I'm going to toss in this wild icon on Beguile. To go 5 to 2. Tragic. Let's parley again. I'm 4 to 2. I'll throw in... I don't really want to use my Fox Mask offerings if I can help it. I will, though. Let's go 6 to 2. Okay. A skull, which is -2. Success? So, Alessandra looks around for Simon for quite some time. The meadow almost seems abandoned, even though the mill is clearly operational. People must farm out here in the fields. And yet, she can't find him until... if Simon hatched a plan. For the secret miners! Simon tosses a firecracker at your feet, but the rain extinguishes the fuse. Consider that a warning! He laughs. The young man then opens a bag full of fireworks as he outlines a convoluted plan. Tomorrow morning, hide these fireworks somewhere in the crossroads, the chapel, the store, and the school, where people won't find them. Then, on the night of the feast, we'll meet behind the schoolhouse. When you ask him why he won't place the fireworks himself, he smirks. I gotta get more gunpowder for my secret underground lair. But don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, buddy. My dude. In Simon Atwood's notes, record, "The plan is underway." And then it says, hint, tomorrow you need to hide a firework around Hemlock Vale. 1 firework per investigator. The plan is underway. This is great, though. I am so jazzed. The plan is underway. So he's planning to use some... Hi, Max. He's planning to blow some shit up with fireworks. Like, we weren't allowed to have any for the feast, and then he's like, we're going to have some anyway. And now, woohoo! All right. I have to remember I'm running an errand, so I need to get to Tad's general store. But that is the end of my turn, because I failed. So we go to upkeep. And now I need to decide what I'm keeping here. I'll keep my well-dressed, I'll keep my lockpicks, keep my savant. I'm not going to need any of these things, really. I'll keep the persuasion. I'll keep a combat icon, a willpower icon. How many cards do I need to even get rid of? Oh, just 1. I think I'll dip the fake credentials. Okay, and that's it. We're back around. We go to 3 out of 6 Doom, and we're back around to us. What is this? The Atwood house. I think I can probably still get back to Tad's general store. So let's do it. Let's move and take the second action here. Alessandra, it's raining perhaps, but she still has time. She still has this errand. She can still run it. It'll be okay. We move up to the Atwood house, and we approach the old homestead 13. I'm so excited. I love these like little codex entries. It's so cool. Feels like a legacy board game. You hear William and River arguing. This is all we have left. We can't turn our back on the past. Our legacy, William insists. River cuts in with a scathing look. Scathing look. The Hemlock legacy is dead, and I know several buyers in Harlem who would turn this soggy island into a paradise. Wait. Oh my god. Right. River's... River's ambitions are to sell the Vale to condo developers. You must decide. William has a point. Oh, Max! Oh my... Oh my god. He stepped right on the spacebar button. William has a point. You may only choose this option if his relationship is 2 or higher. River has a point. You may only choose this option if River's relationship is 2 or higher, or let them fight it out. I'm going to just quickly check, but I'm pretty sure... What a cutie. Yeah, I only have a relationship level of 1. If I had managed to help River in the mines, it would be at 2. But that scenario went really, really wrong for me really fast, so I have to, unfortunately, let them fight it out. Alessandra doesn't want to get involved. Old legacy, new legacy. She obviously believes that, you know, River is on the side of progress, and that's useful, but doesn't William also maybe have access to some old heirlooms or secrets of the island? By the time she finishes thinking about it, they're still fighting. As the pair sling incredible personal insults back and forth, a peal of thunder silences them both. William's brow furrows when he sees you. River turns and grimaces as well. An uneasy silence follows, and you realize you just eavesdropped on a very sensitive conversation. Decrease both William Hemlock and River Hawthorne's relationship levels. That is not good. So now we've got a great relationship with this goddamn kid, and like decent relationships with a few other people. Eesh. Okay, we're back. I need to go to the general store, and I think I want to hit as much as I can. So I'm gonna move back to the crossroads. Socialite is a more loose term. Not quite sure what you mean, Flower. As in you get 1 more turn here. I don't get an extra, I don't get any extra, like... I don't get anything extra. I guess I should just check, yeah, okay. Oh, I see. Right, well, so I have, in fact, 2 whole rounds left, because I'm at 3 right now. I'm going to move back to the crossroads, because then I can freely move on to Tad's General Store, and I still have my extra action to, it's all good, to parley, which it says, parley, you haggle for goods and chat with the locals. This is where I wanted to be anyway, because I was doing a favor for someone. Tad's General Store. If you are running an errand, you drop the box of farming tools and implements on the counter with a dull thud. The proprietor smiles as he stows them. Leo'll appreciate this a lot. Ready for the big feast tomorrow? He chews on a strip of leathery jerky and spits into a bottle. Increase Leia Atwood's relationship level. We're getting all the family members around Mother Rachel. Boom, spring the trap. Each investigator earns 1 bonus experience. Okay. So I'll take the bonus, so we put Leia's relationship up 1, and we gain a bonus experience. That's the end of my turn, so we go to upkeep. Whoop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's toss that, I don't need that. We're going to be reshuffling everything back into our deck from our discard pile, so I don't really mind getting rid of that sort of thing. We go to 4 Doom, and I think we have time to continue, so let's move down to the commons. Second action, we do whatever the commons says. You inspect the communal hall, and check out the local delivery service. 16. Oh, can you deliver me out of here? Want to send a gift to a special someone? Martha Jean beckons to a neat stack of woven gift boxes tied with colorful ribbons. Anything you want to send to the mainland will have to wait till tomorrow morning, I'm afraid. The postman got stranded again. That doesn't sound good. Whoa, 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 whoa. An investigator may search their deck, discard pile, or hand for an item, story asset, permanently remove it from their deck. If they do, choose a resident with a relationship level of 2 or lower, increase their relationship level, and earn a bonus experience. Now let's remember, a story asset is one that is granted by the campaign. So like that meteorite, for example. I'm 99% sure I have none of those. Yeah. The silver moth is of course an item, but it is not a story item, or at least not. I mean, it's part of this story, but you know. Yeah, I'm just gonna shuffle because I've seen what the options are. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to move on. I can almost sort of see everybody here. The schoolhouse or the chapel? Do I have time to do both? I don't really want to peruse the school library. I want to go to this chapel. I didn't go there the last time. Move. Free trigger. Move. We're now at the Hemlock Chapel. Alessandra waves off Martha Jean's offer. Oh, nothing to send back. Exactly, weirdness. Oh, nothing to send back at this time. Just, you know. And then she kind of leans in and conspiratorially whispers, like, you know, I want to make sure that I have everything that I need before I head out, you know. I want to make sure my bouquet of dried flowers is all ready for that special someone. Martha Jean taps her nose in understanding. Upkeep again, right away. That's nice. That's another skill card. I'll toss that guy. We go to 5. Now we're at 5 Doom. So now I think we have 1 turn left. Doesn't it just, Corey Hickson? Hello, Corey Hickson. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game, with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. Very briefly, our story so far is that this fine lady, Alessandra Zorzi, socialite by day, criminal mastermind by night, she's here on the Isle of Hemlock Isle. The community is called Hemlock Vale. We're 1 day away from them having the Feast of Hemlock Vale, which doesn't sound good. I think it's going to be kind of creepy. Midnight Mass, maybe a little midsummer. She's helping some scientists investigate the strange goings-on the island. Oh, I guarantee it, Crosshair, for sure. Let's action approach the overgrown chapel at the top of the hill and see where we get to. It's 11 in the codex. Hemlock Chapel. The entrance to Hemlock Chapel is choked with parishioners in white gold cloaks. Ugh. So you head around back. As you open the door to the rear, you hear hushed conversation. You leave the door cracked and listen. Yeah, you do. Good job, Alessandra. A soft voice speaks. It'll be done as you've said, Mother, but I was wondering exactly why you needed us to... It is not your place to question nor to speak. She's German, right? I think we were saying. It is not your place to question nor to speak, but to obey. Mother Rachel's stern voice cuts like a knife. Now you must join your brethren, and I must join the procession. Simply do as I asked. Search the set-aside residence for Mother Rachel. Put her into play at Hemlock Chapel. Asset side face up. I'm concerned that something is going to happen here. I mean, obviously something's going to happen. Mother Rachel, the kindly matron. Parley, test will 2. If you succeed, Codex 1. Okay, well, we're definitely going to do that. Yeah, 4. Woof. Wait, why does she have more health than, like, I don't know, like a, like a big beefy cop or whatever? Okay, Parley, test will 2. I have a free action, or I have an extra action to Parley. I'm going to be well dressed, which gains 3 wild icons. Oh, obviously, Corey. In between times at the chapel, Mother Rachel be lifting. So this is 4 wild icons, 7 to 2. A crosshair. You love it. -2. Success. 1. Codex 1. Mother Rachel stands at the head of a procession. Her train wave bright, colorful ribbons as they sing a lilting song. The night is long, the woods are dark, the starborn child is clothed in bark. Oh God. Silent we wait for summer rain, the cleansing wash to end all pain. The procession halts as Mother Rachel breaks from the group to walk to your side. Sweet Jesus. The starborn child is clothed in bark. Now, let's remember, in the woods, we found the corpse grove, which had a bunch of, like, corpses inside trees. If Mother Rachel intervened, she showed the way, but she did not intervene. So we're going to go to Mother Rachel 3. She grips your hands tightly in hers as she looks down at you with a magnanimous smile. There is so much that you do not yet understand, and yet I believe you will understand it once the feast begins. Jesus. As the matron returns to the procession, a young girl in a rabbit mask peers out from the midst of the crowd. Strings of flowering garlands are roped around her hands and ankles. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's what it is, Crosshair. Oh, God. Increase Mother Rachel's relationship level. She trusts us, kind of. Each investigator earns a bonus experience. Draw a card. You may play a charm or spell asset from your hand, ignoring its cost. Awesome. I don't know why I would, because I think we're about to end the scenario, but that's okay. Each investigator earns... Right, okay, so we're increasing Mother Rachel's relationship level. Guys, we're almost done the prelude, and then we can choose the next thing. We earn a bonus experience, which we can't spend. We draw a card. I don't like the sounds of that either. And then you may play a charm or spell asset from your hand. Oh, Flower, it was... so what I have written here is that she showed the way into the forest. I feel like something with the bear... There was some option with the bear where she could intervene, but I don't believe she did. I'm super happy to go back and check the, roll the tape by looking at the interlude from that scenario, if we think it's important. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I have any spells, assets to play, and I do not. So that is that. I have 2 more actions. They are going to be to move... Free trigger move. Oh no, we've already been... Ah, shoot. Okay, so we don't have actions left. And move again. upkeep? So many cards. 6 Doom. You reconvene back at the boarding house. Miss Olmsted lays out a spread of warm buttered cornbread, roasted radishes the size of your fist, and a pile of gray, oily eggs. Your stomach growls as you nibble on some of the field rations rather than partake. Yeah! Go Alessandra! Oh man, she is used to eating, like, Eggs Benedict and, like, I don't know. What else would you have? Quail? If Birdie was rescued, R1. Birdie was definitely rescued. Resolution 1. Resolution 1. Dr. Marquez emerges from upstairs with a stony look on her face. Birdie follows, nursing a bandaged arm. Oh my god, Dr. Marquez, what did you do? His face is ashen as he recounts his experience. I was walking at the edge of the woods, I think at midday, when I felt the most delicious, he struggles to put it into words, an absolute joy. And then I suppose I lost myself. When I came to, it was night, and I was quite lost. And now that I've returned, I can't help but reflect on that breathless feeling. Emotion recollected in tranquility, eh? Professor rolls her eyes, but doesn't comment. Resolution 3. Dr. Marquez pours herself a strong cup of coffee. I'm going to take advantage of the cooling rain and head up to Pearl Ridge. Join me if you like. She takes a bite of her eggs and wrinkles her nose. Is that a metal taste? Blah. She discreetly spits the eggs into a handkerchief as Miss Olmsted emerges from the kitchen with a stack of flapjacks and serves several hungry guests. Do not record the Victory X value of each card in the Victory display. I am going to... Okay, thanks, guys. I'm actually going to check that really quick. Do not spend any of it until the end of the next scenario. Make preparations. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. We're going to go to page 37. Oh, shit. Why did I not do that? Proceed to the Bear 2. The Bear 2, blah, blah, blah. I suffered a physical trauma and I took a direct damage. And then she said she intervened. Okay, shit. No, I think it is. Oh, guys, why didn't anyone tell me it was in the notes? You're like, we did. Intervened. Okay, actually, I think it might make a bit of a difference. So instead of earning a bonus experience and drawing a card, so we do not, I'm going to remove the bonus experience. Thanks, guys. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Mother Rachel's eyes well with tears. I could feel the hand of death was upon you, and so I followed you into the woods. When the beast appeared, I knew it was my place to help you, just as it is your place to witness the miracles of Hemlock Isle in all their fearsome, terrifying glory. She presses a small handmade doll into your hands. Oh my god, this is so much worse. A gift from my daughter. She gestures to a young girl in a rabbit mask in the midst of the procession. Strings of flowering garlands are roped around her hands and ankles. Oh, okay. Increase Mother Rachel's relationship level. Each investigator earns a bonus experience. Okay, great. So we keep the relationship level. We take the bonus XP. Okay, so that's the same. Search the heirlooms encounter set for the Corn Husk Doll story asset and add it to your hand. Okay, well, it would be in our hand at the end of the scenario. Oh, boy. Let's have a look at this bad boy. The Corn Husk Doll, a symbol of innocence. Jesus. It's a 1-cost asset that takes up the accessory slot. It can take a damage, so it can soak a bullet for you. Fast. It uses 3 wishes. When a skull or tablet is revealed, spend a wish. Exhaust Corn Husk Doll. Treat it as a cultist instead. Wow, 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 wow. 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 So I would have drawn the backstab, and I would have put it down there, and then I would have put as well the Drain Essence in there as well. Actually, no, I would. Yes, I would have put the Drain Essence away. A symbol of innocence. Everyone, how did I read? Add it to your deck. How did I read hand? I read hand. Okay, well, it goes in your deck. Fine. Whoop. Okay, well, We're gonna get that back later. Man, do I suck at Arkham? Vote now! Okay, let's jump in. Make preparations for your next survey. Choose an asset in your play area to keep for the next scenario. It must be one that does not normally start in play. Discard each other asset and attachment, except those that start in play. Great. Nice, Flower. Discard down to your opening hand sides, shuffle your discard pile into your deck, discard down to starting resources. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to keep a backstab, we need to keep a lockpicks, we keep the Fox Mask in play, we keep a perception, we keep a Mandex, and we keep the persuasion. Woohoo! Oh man, I am going to... Oh, that doll is going to be... Oof! It's going to be very good for me. All right, I'll have some cleanup to do. However, check the area's surveyed section of your campaign log and choose a scenario that has not yet been checked off. We have braved the North Point Mine. So, I'm gonna start the poll here. Whoop. Because I would love to know what people think. Where to on day 2? Option, Hemlock House. Haunted or possessed? Yeah, I think that's essentially what I'm going to do too, Crosshair. I'm just going to put these options out there first. Pearl Ridge with Dr. Rosa Marquez. Akwan Shoreline with Theo's family, I seem to recall was an option. Eastwick Bog. The Thing in the Depths? Question mark? All right, here are your options. You may vote! Exclamation mark 0, 1, 2, or 3. I will admit I have a favorite. So that's the plan. This is our opening sort of setup here. Pretty good little setup, TBH. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up. I'll also just take a moment to like stretch and stuff. We've got some extra XP, which is nice. Now, there was a thing about removing... Place the scenarios, and then it says, clean up everything placed by the prelude before laying out the next scenario. Right, okay, so we have to do this. Whoop! Okay, cool. Okay, that actually did clean up basically everything. Fantastico. All right, team. We're going to take a very short break, where I'm just going to basically get up and stretch and grab some water. And then we're going to see where we get to. All right, we'll be right back. See you in a moment. Thank you, Aragwen. That's what I'm about to do. This is coffee. And thank you, you get to see a stretch on screen for 250 points. But I actually just need to do some other stretches off screen, if you know what I mean. Aragwen, posture check. Man, okay, well, we've got a very good preference here. All right, I'm off. We're going to keep the poll running while I'm on break, and we'll see you back in just about 2 minutes. You're on Doomed. Hello, and welcome back to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. I was a little too high in the frame. Welcome backies! Thanks, Aragwen. Okay, my friends. I don't have a particular sort of story reason to really explore any of these scenarios over any of the others. Rosa Marquez said she was going to go check out Pearl Ridge, the Silent Heath. William Hemlock told us about his old family home. I want to play this, and I'm probably going to do this the next time I play this campaign. But it would appear, and I'll be very curious to know, that it would appear that by a ratio of 3 to 1, people in chat want to go to the Akwan shoreline to visit the lost sister. Now, I assume, Flower, if I may, I assume your logic was the shoreline is where you can get a boat out of here. Am I wrong? I might be wrong. Otherwise, I think we're doing pretty well, and we're just going to dive right in. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear if anyone has any, like, oh, I chose this scenario because. Is that true? Oh, yay, Flower. Okay, good. Good to know. Oh, of course. Weirdness is all about the deep ones. I mean the boats. All right. It's day 2. Let's have a look at The Lost Sister, page 23. You are sitting in the small kitchen of the Peters family home in Akwan. Oh, of course, the McBoatfaces! Cold Atlantic seawater laps at the stills below the house as Helen McBoatface sets her steaming mug on the table. The North Shore Caverns are a death trap. I don't think you know what you're getting into. You tell her you're well aware of the danger. Why are we here? According to local rumors, some folks have gone missing recently. I think Alessandra wants to take Theo Peters up on his offer from yesterday, visit his family, get a good relationship with him, and scope out how the hell she's going to get out of here. The most recent disappearance was Helen's sister, so you paid a visit to the McBoatface home to offer your help. Helen looks you over as is sizing you up and finally nods. Right then, you're either brave or you're stupid, or you're both, like my little brother. She rubs her brow in frustration. I last saw Elizabeth taking a walk with our dog Bruce along the coastline. Told her to stay away from those caves, but she never listens. It's easy to get lost in them, and there are things in there that'd haunt your nightmares. She sets a flashlight on the table. But that's where we're going to start. Crosshair? We lost, my friend. I like how I would have voted in this as well. We have... The vote went the way of the Lost Sister. Yeah, really? Oh god, Flower. Oh. I don't like my odds here, because in Arkham, things tend to go wrong all the time. Alright, Crosshair, here's... Exactly. Get the flamethrower, Crosshair, I'll meet you there! Here's the setup. Alessandra is taking Theo Peters up on his offer from yesterday to go and visit his family up on the Akwan shoreline, the North Coast shoreline. She's hoping to have a good relationship with him because he has a truck, important for escape, and the shoreline is where you can maybe steal a boat and get the hell out of here. All right, it is day 2, so we skip to intro 3. As you and Helen make preparations to leave, the sound of rain breaks the silence. Theo steps through the front door, brushing his wet hair out of his face. He locks eyes with Helen. So she's still not back, he says soberly. Theo drips rainwater on the weather-beaten floor as Helen glowers at him. I'm surprised you came, little brother. Better late than never, I guess. Get the rope. Sick. Reading, that's a band name. She slings a harpoon over her shoulder and walks out into the pouring rain. Hell yeah. Theo scrambles for rope and a second flashlight as you ask him what the matter is. Our sister is missing. I told Helen she would come back, and now it's been 2 days. That's what the matter is. Set up. Okay, we're looking for Theo Peters and Helen Peters, the McBoatfaces' younger sister, Lizzie McBoatface. Gather all the cards from the following encounter sets. In addition, check the campaign logs for the current day and blah blah blah. Check the campaign log for the current day and time. It's day 2. Put Akwan into play. We begin at Akwan. There's only one location. That bodes very well. Construct the... Son of a bitch. Construct the caverns deck as follows. Why are we always going into caves? I belong. It belongs in a museum. I belong at a party. Gather each location from the Lost Sister and Horrors in the Rock encounter sets. Set the fungal cave location aside out of play. Well, they're obviously shoreline caves, right? So maybe they'll be flooded. As a reminder, I don't see any flood tokens in this encounter set. And Flower, I promise we'll be doing a nice, cold, spooky investigation next time, which I'll throw some frost tokens in. No snacks. We had to go from Horrors in the Rock. Okay, so the fungal cave is set aside out of play. Where is it? Ah, here we go. Shuffle and remove 2 cards from the lower cavern deck. I assume it's here. Yeah, there's the fungal cave. Shuffle and remove 2 cards from the lower cavern deck. Wait, that's not what it said, though. Yeah, right. So 2 and then put them all together. Okay, cool. So we're removing 2. Then we're shuffling all of these together. Oh boy. I'm totally not lying, Flower. You've mentioned the frost tokens enough that I feel like it's exciting to you, and it's exciting to you, and it's exciting to me. Put the top 3 cards of the Caverns deck into play unrevealed below and to the left and right of Akwan. All right. Oh! Left. Oh, sorry. Below. Sorry. Below, left, and right. Okay. We'll look at location adjacency. If it is day, put Helen Peters into play under the control of an investigator. She does not take up an ally slot. If it's day 2, put Theo Peters into play under the control of an investigator. If it's day 2, put Gideon Mazra into play under the control of an investigator. Woo! Girl, we have so many. Look at all these allies. Woof. All right, let's wowie maui. Let's have a look at these guys. Okay, Helen Peters, the eldest sister. Absolute badass. You get +1 combat. Because it's day. Change is inevitable. The question is how we weather it. After you enter a location, exhaust her, deal a damage to her, choose a non-elite enemy, and automatically evade it. That could be very, very nice. Wow. We have so many friends, Aragwen. Love that. Let's smooch Helen. Okay, well, let's see. If we can get on Theo's good side, then we can probably get on Helen's good side. While you control Theo Peters, you may take an additional action during your turn. Oh my god! Which can only be used to move. Fine. That's so fine. Action. Choose and discard X cards from your hand. X is the current day number. Parley? No problem. I don't really want to do that yet. But I will probably not have time later. Gideon Mizra. Sorry, I keep saying Mazra. Maserati. Yeah, well, I mean, Flower. No one says you can't smooch more than one person, right? While you control Gideon, you have 1 additional accessory slot. Really good news, because it means I can play an accessory and not have the Silver Moth kick it out. Double action, Parley. Okay. What an assortment of people. That was last adventure's smooch. Get with the program. We're smooching Helen. Get on board, everyone. Choo-choo. Okay. That's quite enough out of me. Wow. Okay, so we have an extra action to move. Stop that. I'm going to change the state to... Fight is not quite right here. Evade? That'll look like a move. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's my hope, Flower. Oh, baby. All right, so we have an extra action that can only be used to move. We have an extra action, which is a parley. I don't have a top. Oh! A little parley icon! I love it. Guys, I am loving this. Okay. Chuffed. If it is night, set some enemies aside, build the encounter deck. You are ready to begin. Dark locations. Day and night effects function differently during the Lost Sister scenario. During this scenario, cards at a dark location, including the location itself, only use night effects. Okay, so it's night if you're in a dark location. Makes sense. Cards at all other locations use day effects. This rule is in effect regardless of whether the scenario is played during the day or night. During this scenario, cards at a dark location only use night effects. Okay, so that would include... I cannot wait either, Crosshair. So Helen Peters, in fact, she's giving us +1 combat outside the cave, but +1 agility when we're at a dark location, because she says night. Exactly, Crosshair. So I think +1 agility is going to be way more useful. Do any of them take up ally slots? No, just... Right, Helen Peters doesn't take up an ally slot. Okay. During the evening, the moonlight is as bright as the sun. Unlike in other scenarios, the time marker has no mechanical effect. Okay, fine. Double-sided enemies. The Lost Sister encounter set features 3 double-sided enemies. They have a day side and a night side. If they're at a dark location, they go on their night side. Great. You can't interrupt a flip. That's all fine. This is all fine. Yeah. Right. Yeah, yes. Fine. Thank goodness. So I'll take that. Okay, so we have a parley action, we have a move action, and we have 3 normal actions. This is gonna be exciting. Let's have a look at our agenda and our act, and we'll see what we need to do. Shuffle the encounter deck. Into the caves. Waves crash on the shoreline, threatening to wipe out a set of footprints that lead into the tidal caverns. You catch the faintest glimpse of a dim blue glow deep within the tunnels. Cards at dark locations use night effects, cards at all other locations use day effects. Fine. The missing sibling. Elizabeth Peters has gone missing in these coastal caves, chasing after the family dog. Helen is determined to get her back. Forced. After the last clue is discovered from a cave location, put the top card of the Caverns deck into play adjacent to that location. So, when we discover the last clue from a cave, we don't reveal, but we add a new cave next to it. Objective: find Elizabeth Peters. If the investigators found a torn dog leash and found a set of footprints, immediately advance. Okay, so we're looking at stuff. We're looking for things. Perf. Okay, we'll go west then. Skulls, minus X. Half the number of revealed cave locations in play round up. It's going to be 1 very soon, but for right now, it is 0. Cultists, minus 1. If you succeed, heal a horror. Tablets, I don't think we have any tablets. We just have an elder thing, which is minus 2. If an abomination is at your location, reveal another token. Well, none for now. All right, we know what we're looking for. We're looking for Lizzie Peters somewhere in the caves. We've got lots of friends, lots of parleying to do, lots of moving to do. Let's have a look. I think it's time, guys. Let's get doomed. The fishing village of Akwan sits quietly in a rocky bay on the northern shores of Hemlock Isle. A few people mill around on the village's boardwalks. Resign. You give up the search. Well, alright, see ya. If it is day 2, Akwan gains parley. You ask around the village about the coastal caves. Look at the top 3 cards of the cavern deck. Return them to the top of the caverns deck in any order. That feels like a good use of a parley action. I guess it would just help me understand what's coming in the parley deck, which would be good. As a reminder, we put new caves into play by getting the last clue off of a cavern location. I want to take a bit of a setup turn. I don't have much to set up here. Lockpicks, which will be useful, I think, for, finding little things lost in crevices in the cave. We can move. Oh, sorry guys, see you later. We finally got the team together. Actually, I think I'll just go. Okay. I'm thinking Parley Caverns, double action Gideon, then we move with Theo. Last action. And hopefully we don't run into an enemy immediately. But if we do, we do. And I feel like that'll be fine. Free action to parley. Look at the top 3 cards of the cavern deck. Return them to the top of the caverns deck in any order. 1, 2, 3. After more eons of descent, I saw some side passages or burrows leading from unknown recesses of blackness to this shaft of nighted mystery. Shaft of nighted mystery. This is an iridescent passage. Oh, these are the same caverns. Some of these are the same caverns from North Point Rock. Okay, this is a 3-shroud, 2-clue location, so I would rather not have this. Choose and discard a card from your hand if you fail. A suspended graveyard. Absolutely. Yikes. Okay. Oh, you probably don't want to be going there, miss. That's the suspended graveyard. I'm sorry, what's a suspended graveyard? It's where all the graves are on top in the cave, you know. We tied them up. They rotted, their flesh rotted away, fell down. What? This has an action to take a horror to dig through the bone-strewn moss. Put the top card of the Caverns deck into play adjacent to this location. That's actually great as well. So we don't have to get a clue to get a new cave. Oh, no thanks. And this is the Hidden Cove. Yes. 3 shroud, 1 clue. You spend 2 clues as a group. Remember that you found a torn dog leash. And there's a forced effect when you fail a skill test while fighting here. Take a damage. Okay, so that's the torn dog leash, so I want to do that, and I need to get clues. I need 2 clues in order to do that. The moss will allow me to get a new location into play. So we put the iridescent passage, we put that there. So graveyard is first, and that'll give me a new location, which that new location will be where the dog collar is. Okay, cool. Well, I'm not thrilled about that, but Alessandra has a theory that the Hidden Cove might be where a dog would take off to. 2 actions. Yeah, exactly, Crosshair. if you want. Parley, let's talk to Gideon Mizra. Gideon, of course, being the seasoned sailor, he'll know all sorts of things about the water around here. Right? Parley, 6. Gideon leans forward and studies a formation of black sand and rocks. 'Tweren't always so strange here. Hemlock Isle's gotten quite queer over the years, but nah, think of it, I suppose. The old man trails off, lost in thought. After some time, he stands up shakily. I lost somewhat of an old heirloom here. Well, I didn't lose it so much as I buried it and I forgot where it were, if you get me. He prattles on about 3 other unrelated tales before circling back. I weren't so dull I buried it in the sand, but there were a big black rock looked a mite like a whale. That's where I buried it. If you help me find it, I'd be much obliged. Remember, Gideon is searching for an heirloom. Hint, if you control at least 2 clues at the end of the scenario, we can help Gideon find what he's looking for. Okay, we failed with River because of the minecart race. Donkey Kong Country minecart madness was insane. We're looking for 2 clues to help Gideon find his heirloom. And now, last action, we're gonna move. We have an extra action which can be used to move. I'm gonna move left. Yeah, well, not with that attitude, Crosshair. This is the Overgrown Tunnel. While Overgrown Tunnel has clues on it, you must spend an additional action to move out of Overgrown Tunnel. That's fine. 4 people working together, we'll be able to hack and slash and get our way through here immediately. That'll put the graveyard into play, which will put the cove into play, and that'll be great. Okay, that's the end of my turn. Go to upkeep. Oh, baby. This is the Cornhusk doll that was given to us by Mother's Rachel's daughter. We have an additional accessory slot, so the silver moth won't kick this out. It sure does, eh? Something that's mostly natural for once. Well, for now, Flower, for now. It's fast, and it uses 3 wishes. So this says when a skull or tablet is revealed, there won't be any tablets, but you can spend a wish, exhaust the Cornhusk doll to treat it as a cultist. Currently, the skulls are -1, which is the same as the cultist, and the cultist heals a horror. So this is going to be much better. Yeah, exactly. It heals a horror. Not useful yet, but will be very useful later when the skulls are probably going to be like -5 or something. Okay. Alessandra lets Theo and Helen go first with their flashlights playing over the edges of the walls. The seasoned sailor, Gideon, trailing behind, muttering to himself about, where the hell could I have... Where did that heirloom go? I don't know where I buried it. Something that looked mighty like a whale. Alessandra hopes that while these caverns seem familiar to those at North Point Rock, that hopefully there won't be quite so many horrific creatures in here as there were elsewhere. One doom. We draw our first encounter card of the game. We've got lots of friends. We can do all sorts of things. Are we sure this half-senile old man's going to be useful? Flower, if he has a powerful artifact, we don't know what this thing does. This heirloom. It could be magical. Luminous growth. Oh, shoot. Right, of course. So sorry. Is this a dark location? This is a dark location. So Helen Peters gives us an agility instead of a combat. From beyond the overgrowth, a light, unearthly, beautiful, and dangerous. Attach luminous growth to the nearest revealed dark location. That's here. Attached location loses the dark trait. Okay, well, shit. Enemies at the attached location gain +1 fight and +1 damage. Oh god, the myconids are like empowering their friends. Test agility 3 if you succeed, discard it. Well, this actually doesn't do anything right now, so I'm not... So it loses the dark trait, lol. It is, isn't it? I like it. The glow from deeper within the cavern system makes it almost as bright as day. Alessandra quirks an eyebrow, wondering if this myconids, if these mushrooms, this fungus, has spread throughout the entire island and what it has done. Well, okay, so we know what we need to do, right? Clues, locations, etc. Yeah, easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Lockpicks. Investigate. I'm adding my agility to my intellect value. If you do not succeed by at least 2, discard lockpicks. So I'm currently at 8 to 3. Nice. I mean, she must be riddled with some spores. Working together, Alessandra helps direct the Peters and Gideon to pull some of the brush aside while, you know, suggesting that they try not to touch the glowing mushrooms too much, strange as they may be. We get the clue. I believe this says, after the last clue is discovered, put the top card of the Caverns deck into play adjacent to that location. I think I'll choose here. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And we know this is the graveyard place. And then I'll put one down there, and then I'll put one next to it. And we'll try to make them all connect so that we can, like, we don't end up in a dead end or something. I have a parley action. I think I want to do something here. I think I want to do the parley action with Theo, just to see what it is. Choose and discard X cards from your hand, where X is the current day number. Okay, well, I really can't afford to discard Backstab, so I'm going to discard Persuasion and Perception. Theo and Alessandra fall into step next to each other as they march through the caverns on towards the strange inverted graveyard. If Theo is arguing with Helen, and both Theo and Helen are at the same location, why would they be arguing? Okay. So not, actually, right? If Theo is arguing with Helen... No. They seem, like, unhappy with each other, but I don't think anything's happening there. Okay. If this test is successful, continue reading, otherwise... Okay, so, basically, if they end up arguing with each other, and they're at the same location, I'll be able to test will 4, and then if I succeed, maybe help them sort of reconcile or something. In other words, I just discarded 2 cards for no reason, as near as I can tell. It's weird. I don't really love how this is laid out. If Theo is arguing with Helen and they're both at the same location. Right, otherwise an investigator may trigger this codex again. No, it says if it's successful, continue reading. It's just weird because basically I read that first sentence and I go, oh, well, that's not true. So I just stop reading. So I guess that's that. Well, at least it only cost me a parley action. Let's move and see where we get to. Isn't that right, Helen Pietas? Oh, way down. Sorry, Flower. Yes, sorry. My God. Sorry, Flower. Thank you for actually being able to read. As a quick tangent, this happens all the time, not necessarily on Doomed, but really on my other streams, where I'm playing games that involve like strategy or more specifically puzzles, where things go in my eyes and in my ears, and I process them, and then they immediately disappear as I try to be entertaining on stream. I'm not actually like reading, you know? Thanks, guys. As you and Theo follow Helen through yet another slimy tunnel, you emerge into a large room the size of an amphitheater. Branching coral and massive crustaceans grip the wet, dark rock around you, and for a moment, the group collectively holds their breath, taking in the unbelievable scene. Let's keep moving, Helen says gruffly. She quickly outpaces you and Theo, and you take the moment to ask the young man more about his sister's icy demeanor. She blames the veil for everything. A year ago, we were barely making ends meet in Akwan. She tried to get me to take up fishing like my father, and well, it's not like I was ever any help. But when I visited the Vale, I felt like I had a place, somewhere I belonged. Mother Rachel says, "Shut up!" Helen breaks into the conversation. It's bad enough Lizzie heard you talking about that loon when you were at home. You want to be your lapdog, go ahead. You want to turn your back on us, go ahead. But don't spout any of that bullshit around me. Theo's cheeks flush as his sister prods what is clearly an old wound. Remember, Theo is arguing with Helen. An investigator may trigger this codex again if both of them are at the same location, which they always will be. But of course, in order to trigger the codex again, I have to discard another 2 cards. So not my favorite. Okay, right. And now since I've already kind of cheated by reading this a little bit, I know I'm going to have to test willpower. Okay. Obviously, Alessandra didn't realize that there was so much tension between this kindly gentleman Theo, this sort of muscly farmhand, so she thought, and his sister. Let's keep moving moving into this next cavern. It's a suspended graveyard! What a surprise! Action, take a horror. You dig through the bone-strewn moss on the covered walls. Well, I'm going to do that. Put the top card of the Cavern's deck into play adjacent to this location. Group limit once per game. And I'm going to put the horror on me, because I know that cultists potentially heal us. So in fact, actually, I'm going to also... What the hell? Error. 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 Cannot place Cornhusk Doll. Exactly, Crosshair. That's exactly my thought. Love it. Okay. Last action. I have an action left. I have clues, but I'd like to get another clue. I think... What's the worst that could happen? Nothing. I'm at evens, which is not great. But, I mean, the alternative actually is drawing cards. Yeah, the alternative is drawing cards, which is probably better here, because I'm going to lock picks this turn. Really good. Okay, it's exactly... That's really, really nice. Okay. No enemies as of yet. Crustaceans infest the caves. The strange fungal light seems to offer up some sort of... Oh, right, and again, we are now back in a... Oh, this is not a dark location. It's a coastal cave. There you go. The fungus... Yeah, exactly, Crosshair. The fungus seems to offer up some sort of light, even if it is a bit strange. Uh-oh. Game doesn't want to upkeep anymore. Ooh. It's okay, I can just do it normally, I think. Draw? Okay. Credit. We don't call it a credit. Yeah, that would be pretty funny, I think. We go to 2 out of 4 Doom. We draw our new encounter card. Alessandra's hoping that this coastal cave will come out onto the shore back where there is some sort of cove. Yeah, I think that's true. And it's weird because it kind of seems to have borked the upkeep button, which is annoying. Downpour. There descended such a blinding sheet of torrential rain that shelter became imperative. As the group tries to leave the cavern, suddenly an absolutely massive downpour of rain starts soaking them through to the bone as they scurry back inside. Test Intellect 3. For each point you fail by, you must either lose an action or place one of your clues on your location. Well, I don't want that, but I get... Yeah, well... yeah, Crosshair, great shout. Yes, you can. You can... In fact, you lose your additional actions first. Or rather, I guess you spend your additional actions first. I mean, the result is the same, right? Like... Yeah. Good point. Because, like, I guess let me put it this way, right? If I lost 3 actions, I'd still have an additional action to move and to parley. Even if I lost the parley and the move first, I'd still have 2 actions which I could do anything with. Hang on a second. Then the question is, no, you lose your additional actions first, I'm sure, but I will check. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. The additional actions that are specific, I'm sure they're the ones that get lost first. Because otherwise, that would you would just be sitting there with no actions, and like, well, I guess I can talk to someone. What? Flower? Damn it! I was wrong again! Oh, man, hang on. I'm gonna look up losing actions, because this, I want to know. Woo! Arkham. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Losing actions. Not that. I'm gonna find it here. Oh. Aha! Actions. You are permitted to take up to 3 actions when performing an action. All costs, and then the consequences resolve. If an investigator is instructed to lose 1 or more actions, they have that many fewer actions to take during that round. If an investigator has 1 or more additional actions, the first action they take that is able to qualify automatically uses that additional action. So the first time you use a tome as Daisy, that's your tome action. Fine. If an action qualifies as blah, 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 if an investigator causes them to lose 1 or more, they have that many fewer standard actions to take. Okay. Sorry that took so goddamn long. Thank you. And Flower, you had looked up the exact same thing I did. It's the downpour! Let's see how quickly we can scurry back inside. I'm just going to test 4 to 3. It looks like we're pretty good at scurrying. They scurry back inside. Alessandra's barely even wet. We have all of our actions. In other words, moot point. Someone remembered their umbrella. But, exactly. Oh, and of course this readies, because it readied during upkeep. First action, I'm going to exhaust lockpicks to investigate at 8 to 4. Try to grab this clue. It's good. However, I did not succeed by at least 2. So I have to discard lockpicks. Tragic. But we get the clue, which we can then use to put the top card into play over here. I'm actually going to put it up here. Yeah. Because I don't really care about it. Because that's the... Well, it's got 2 clues on it, and it's 3 shroud, but I don't really want to go there. Okay. We found what we needed to find as Alessandra tries to tries to sort of, as she digs through the moss with a small tool, she hears a snapping sound as one of her lockpicks breaks off. But the moss crumbles and another path reveals itself. No, Flower, great question. It is the 1 XP version of lockpicks that has... Here, let me pull it up for you. The 1 XP version of lockpicks came first, as in it was released first. And it has 3 supplies, and if you don't succeed by at least 2, you lose a supply. The 0 XP version just discards, so it has no supplies on it. But otherwise, it is the same. So for 1 XP, you get a bunch of uses out of it. Totes. Where is it from? What is that? It's a little whistle. Or a propeller, maybe. I'm trying to figure out what the symbol is in the bottom right. This is definitely the Pallid Mask from Carcosa. The symbol on the bottom right. And this one says 2019. Edge of the Earth, maybe? Did that come out in the Edge of the Earth? Oh, well, revised score, okay. Perf. All right, well, I lost my thing, but I gained the clue. It's a little sad. I could attempt the parley again, but I don't have the willpower to pass, so I'm not going to do that. I am instead going to play some fine clothes. Very important. And then we're going to move. Winifred! Winnie! Winnie is the, there's 5 starter investigators or investigator packs. Those investigators only have access to their class and neutral cards, and they are, in a lot of ways, sort of defining of, like, class archetypes. I'm very excited about this, so I am going to talk about it. Harvey Walters. He's a seeker who just draws cards. He draws cards and he draws more cards. We played him, Crosser and I played him on a Twombed, together with Leo, the Viking one. Nathaniel Cho, the boxer, deals extra damage when you use events. Just straight fight all the time. No clue, just fight. Winnie has pretty wild min-maxed stats, and she draws cards when you commit 2 or more cards to a skill test. So you just keep slamming skill cards into tests to over-succeed. Oh, the circle undone. That would make more sense. Mistrich, hello! Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. Yes, we did. I kind of can't believe it. We escaped the mines. We made our way into the forest. We rescued a member of the survey team. And now it is the 2nd day in Hemlock Vale on Hemlock Isle. And we are helping the Peters siblings look for their younger sister, Lizzie. So far, we've been through a graveyard where dozens of grinning skulls and reaching skeletal arms hang down from the walls and ceilings. Yikes. And we're about to find a torn dog leash, which seems pretty good. I am going to spend those 2 clues to do that. Remember that you found a torn dog leash. I have an action to parley. I really don't want to do that, though. Am I at a dark location? No? Okay. It's like a pen thing. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. That looks like the Pallid Mask to me in the bottom right. Obviously, it's, hard to tell on this thing. Very cool. But hi, Mistrich. I hope things are well with you, and I hope you're enjoying being here on Doomed. That is the end of my turn, because I have a parley action, but I don't want to take it. We're looking for more clues, which means we're also looking for ways of getting clues. Okay. And we're still very bewitching, which I forgot I had Snitch. As a reminder, Snitch is a trick. After you succeeded a skill test while parleying, you can discover 2 clues among your location and connecting locations, which is a bit funky in this scenario in particular, because we need to get the clues in order to get more locations. Ooh, Mistrich. That's really exciting. How do you, if I may ask, how do you know you're near the end of the campaign? Is it like that the big boss kind of said something along the lines of like, I'll be seeing you soon? Or is it just like, I know this sort of campaign quite well and we're getting close, like I know that we're near the end? Like, how do you know? Yeah, that's going to be the end of my turn. No enemies on the board, so we go ahead to... Upkeep doesn't work. I've broken it somehow. So we draw a card and gain a resource. Well, well, well. Bianca di Cats. I think we might need a little Bianca di Cats action. Yeah, exactly, Crosshair. That's the other option. We go to 3 out of 4 Doom. We've found the torn dog leash. Alessandra's thinking, oh, well, maybe it leads off in that direction. She kind of like points off into the side. Maybe they can find something else. It's gotten really dark all of a sudden. But here in the cove, the hidden cove, we're going to draw an encounter card. Yeah, there's a failing well. Aha! It's time for die Cats to become die, Alessandra, die. No, it's German. It's die, Alessandra, die. We've seen this before. Alessandra's blood runs cold as she sees some fungus sprouting from amongst a crashed ship here in the hidden cove. It's just fungus, mushrooms. And yet, it is the horror of knowing that somehow this black amanita has somehow spread across the island. According to Dr. Rosa Marquez, this hadn't even been seen on this island before, about 20 years ago. How has it so quickly gotten there? It's daytime, so the Amanita is aloof. It's just chilling on the ship. However, there's a forced effect here that says after you discover a clue at its location or a connecting location, if it's ready, take a direct horror. That's not as good. But at least it's aloof. So in fact, maybe we just kind of... We could leave and go back through the overgrown tunnel and kind of go the other way in the caverns. Or we could... It's not a shroom, it's a loofah. Loofah, loofah. Maybe we don't care, though. Maybe we just take some direct horror and be done with it. Let us play another frickin' ally. What I'm going to do, I want all my allies to be together if I can, so I'm going to do this. And then if I get a hand asset, I'll put it in my tarot slot. First action, Bianca di Cats. Yep, don't wash with poisonous amanitas. Second action, Parley. Alessandra, of course, has been letting her friend, lover, recover throughout the evening. But she has been accompanying them on this trip. She just needed a few more minutes to get some things together at Akwan. And she's finally trudged through the hidden cove. She's not looking particularly happy to be here so far from the creature comforts of the city, like New York or Chicago. And yet, Alessandra spins it as, you know, an adventure, maybe. Exhaust Bianca di Cats. Whoop. Parley. Move X resources from her to your resource pool. X cannot be more than 5. Test Agility X. So this would be at -2 difficulty because of the fine clothes. I'm going to take 4. No, I'm going to take 5. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to take 5 here because I have a manual dexterity in hand. And I am A-okay to use it on something like this. So, I'm testing at 4 to 3. 7 with a manual dexterity. Awesome. We draw a card from manual dexterity. It's a Guts. That's going to be really good for Theo Peters once we have a couple more willpower icons. Cat always lands on her paws. Love that. I love that, Crosshair. Okay, so in fact, I envisaged her as like, you know, kind of a little sniffly, kind of maybe a little whiny, a little like, why are we here in this horrible place? But maybe you're right. Maybe she's just like, much like Alessandra, she's just kind of cool, you know? She's just looking around like, you know, I can handle this stuff. So we use that to get money, which is good. We still have a move, and we can get some clues, and I don't really mind. Yeah, I don't really mind getting kind of rocked by. I don't think so. It looks. Oh, yeah. I think that's just a. I think it's just like a. I don't know. Paint. What am I trying to say here? It's like an artist. It's part of the art, but I don't think it's her crying or her mascara running or anything. I don't think, but I do think it's cool. The singer. So we played Bianca. We parlayed with Bianca to take some resources. We're gonna try to get this clue, which will give me a horror from the Black Amanita, but I don't think that's a big deal, honestly. Famous last words. Let's test 4 to 3. A skull. Oh, this should have 3 wishes on it. Right away, I'm gonna use one of these wishes to treat it. Yeah, because I'm gonna treat it like a cultist, which is -1, heal a horror, because then I'm gonna take a horror from the Amanita. So I succeeded. I get the clue, I take the horror from the Amanita, I put the top card into play, and I'm gonna get there. Yes, Flower, thank you. That was the other thing I wanted to update. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is not a cave. So we just have 2 actually. So half rounded up is still -1. It's about to become -2 as we move next door. So in fact, I could have saved it, but I like the sort of save a horror, take a horror business. Plus, I don't want to keep this forever, right? Oh! It's another suspended graveyard. Okay, take a horror. You dig through the bone-strewn moss. I didn't realize there were so many suspended graveyards here. Alessandra. Oh, and of course we get our offering back on the fox mask because we moved out of a location with an enemy. As Alessandra moves further into the cave system from the hidden cove, they come across an almost identical cavern leading from the water deeper into the cave systems, where a number of skeletons are once again hanging somehow, ensconced in the moss in the roof of the cave. She looks at Helen and Theo, wishing that she had Dr. Rosa Marquez there. They shrug. Pirates? They don't seem to know. Alessandra wonders if perhaps the myconids infesting the island... I keep saying myconids. I feel like that's from The Last of Us. Am I wrong? She wonders if the fungus infesting the island has caught people and is slowly digesting them or something. So we're here. Oh, sorry, that was our movement action. We also used an action to get a clue. So we moved. And I have 1 action left, which I'm going to use to take a horror. I'm going to put it on Theo. To put the top card of the cave deck into play adjacent to us. These scraps gotta go somewhere, because I don't want to get this clue if I can help it. And in fact, actually, after the last clue is discovered from a cave location, we have to put a card into play adjacent, and in fact, we can no longer do that here in the suspended graveyard. An excellent question, Flower. We know that we have to pass a big old will test. I'm waiting to maybe get a couple more willpower icons. Maybe we'll get lucky with the Cornhusk doll, but I have to discard cards from hand in order to hit the Theo Peters, so we'll see. Are we having a Goonies moment? I don't know, are we? Now that's an interesting question. Reduce the difficulty of skill tests you perform during parley actions. This parley action says... Yeah, this parley action says Codex. I think actually, yeah. Okay. Next turn. Let's try to get him to make up. Let's try it. Next turn. Because first, in the enemy phase, the mushrooms pulse with a dangerous heartbeat. Or some shit. I don't know. We go to upkeep where we ready our cards. I have to do this manually all of a sudden for some reason. We draw a card, we gain a resource. It's another copy of Backstab. No! No dying! No! And we go to, actually, so we go to 4 out of 4 Doom. Hunted. Oh boy. A whirring, chittering sound. Actually, is this also a cave? No, this also, oh, this is a cave though. Okay, yes, so skulls are -2. Sorry. A whirring, chittering sound echoes off the tunnel walls. A large crab-like creature emerges from a nearby tidal pool, antennae swaying in the air as if searching for you. The thing moves surprisingly fast on dozens of legs. Dozens! Ugh! And its carapace is covered in sharp barnacles and strings of kelp and rotten seaweed. Whatever it is, it emits the most awful, rotten stench you have ever smelled, much like the Black Amanita. Spawn one of the set-aside crustacean hybrid enemies at the coastal location nearest to the most investigators. In the light side face up. Well, that's with us, because we are at a coastal location. Yeah. Each investigator at a dark location. We are not. Place Doom on Agenda 2A equal to the current day number. Rude. We'll look at the crab in a moment. Agenda 2A. Darkness closes in. Oh my god, it's carcinogenesis. The cavern walls are alive with churning, shifting fungal growths. I knew it! I knew it! Okay, Alessandra, now is the time that you have to use your magic talkie powers. They seem to be following you. So I'm at 2 out of 12 Doom already. Thanks a lot. Because this is engaging me, or I believe it's about to, we might get to finally use Bewitching. Let's have a look at it. An elusive hunter. Doesn't say aloof. 3/3/4. It gets plus X health where X is the current day number. Freaking yikes. When it would take damage from an attack, reduce that damage to 1. Oh. Oh, yucky ducky. That is so yucky. A reminder that elusive is a key word whereby after it attacks or is attacked, after it attacks or is attacked, it takes the damage, the attack resolves, and then you, and then it exhausts and moves to a connecting location. So it runs away from you. I don't love this. And elite. Natch. I think that's okay. I think we just take a big hit from it and have it run away. And that's what we do. Attack and scuttle! Yes, true. Okay. So that's the agenda. Ah, right, and an enemy engaged me, so I can exhaust Bewitching. It's just a little nibble. It's just a little nibble of flesh. Ugh. Just turn up the music slightly. There we go. Either draw an attached card or search the top 9 cards of your deck for a copy of an attached card, draw it, and shuffle your deck. So, can I, first of all, can I beguile elite enemies? No. Okay, so I'm not doing that. It's a good question, Flower. No, I get, well, no, unless the parley also says fight. Damage from an attack. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Crosshair. I do like the idea of the free icon. So, there's 2 more Beguiles in the deck out of 21 cards. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to search 9 for a copy of Beguile. Did I make a mistake? Yeah, I made a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. That's okay. It's fine. It was a pretty good chance, I felt. Tragic. That's okay. We're back around. No, we're not back around. It's encounter card time. Here in this horrible suspended graveyard. Yeah, exactly, Flower. The fungus and the crustaceans are obviously speaking to each other. Yeah, well, I mean, 50-50, right? I feel pretty good about that sometimes. I think we're gonna probably just be letting it hit us and run away. But first, we have to draw an encounter card. A creature scuttles up out of the water, out of a tidal pool, and starts rushing the little group. Bianca screams. Gideon Mazra pulls out a small pistol. Oh, God. One of the... one of the skeletons falls out of the ceiling just in front of the crab, and they watch as the crab just shoves it, bones and all, into its maw, and it disappears. Day or night? Are we in a night location? We're not in a dark location. That's really horrible. Test Combat 3. If you fail, you must either take 2 damage or choose the nearest enemy, and that enemy attacks you. Well, honestly, an attack from this elusive enemy would mean that it would run away, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. So let's go ahead and just test 3-3. Combat. Oh no! -1? Well, that's not good. Choose the nearest enemy. That enemy attacks you. 1 damage, 1 horror. And then it is elusive, so I'm going to have it scuttle off this way. It disengages, moves to a connecting location that's empty if able. Sorry, so I'm going to put it down. No, I'm going to put it up here. Empty if able. And then empty of enemies and investigators. Yep, didn't heal, Flower. So we good. We good, though. Yeah, if you succeed. If you succeed. Which I did not, and that's fine. And then it scuttles off, and it's there. Hello, Kung Fu Fenris. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. We're coming up to the end of stream time, but it's been a pretty exciting time so far. Alessandra's out here on the coastline looking for a missing sibling of the Peterses. Hey, Kodab! Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game, with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. Wonderful to have you all with us. I'll just catch us up really briefly as we head into this second agenda. Alessandra Zorzi, our criminal mastermind / socialite, is currently looking. It's day 2 here. 1 day left until the Feast of Hemlock Vale. She's helping the Peters siblings look for their younger sister Lizzie. With her, many other allies, a little bit of magic. Exactly, Kodab. Socialite by day, criminal mastermind by night. Kodab, Arkham's treating me great. Please see my 1,000 hours in Tabletop Simulator, which I can tell you are literally all Arkham Horror, the card game. That said, we've got the crustacean scuttles forward, consumes the rotting flesh of the corpse, and then snaps at Alessandra's heels before it dives back into the tidal pool and disappears. But now we're free to get the hell out of here. Do we go right? Yes, because we want to make sure that this cavern doesn't have... Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, we do that. We move. No. I mean, sometimes I just leave it running too, right, Kodab? Yeah. Kodab, what do you stream normally? And thank you again for the raid. It's very, very kind. Really appreciate it. No! Before we... Yes, we're going to move first, and then we're going to attempt the parley action. A dry burrow. Day, free trigger move. The open paths seem safe enough. But are they? Getting this clue will allow me to put another thing into play, which will be great. However, I'm now here as they rush out of the suspended graveyard. Alessandra takes a moment to catch her breath, make sure that Bianca's doing okay, and then looks towards Theo and Helen, kind of huffing at each other. Are we in a dark location? We're all of a sudden in a dark location. Looks at them huffing at each other and decides she's going to try to make them, you know, to help them make up. Choose and discard X cards from your hand. X is the current day number. 1, 2. Parley. Let's do it. If Theo is arguing with Helen and they're at the same location, tensions run high as Theo and Helen sling barbs at each other. Choose an investigator at my location to test willpower 4, but actually only 2. If this test is successful, continue reading. The fine clothes are going to do all the talking for me. I'm going to commit this guts, and I'll be 5-2. Please, everybody, wish me some luck. Damn it, Flower. Oh, thank God. It's so scary when that happens. Ooh, fake credentials. I'll look at fake credentials in a moment. That's a really fun one. Kodab says, my Sundays are dedicated to... Ah! Toast! Thank you. My Sundays are dedicated to Arkham Horror LCG, including making custom cards. I'm currently streaming my first playthrough of the Kingdom Hearts series and Midnight Suns. Kodab Games, do you have 8 million hours of free time in your life for the Kingdom Hearts series? Kodab, I have never played a Kingdom Hearts game. I have played Midnight Suns, but only for about 10 hours, and then my save got corrupted. So I uninstalled the game, got a little mad at it, but I really want to reinstall and start again, because XCOM, card games, like, it's all up my alley. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is very exciting. Custom cards, Kodab, are any of these yours? Oh yeah, totally, Crosshair. All right, success. Oh, toast. Oh, everyone loves Kingdom Hearts. Love that. Say what you will, but the Vale are more family to me than you'll ever be, Theo shouts. You step in and you try to calm the pair. Helen locks eyes with her brother, clearly wounded, and replies, please don't say that. Never say that. You and Lizzie are the only home I have. Not here, not Hemlock Isle, certainly not Vermont. I just want us to be a family. Her tough exterior breaks as she begins to weep. After a moment, Theo looks at his sister, lips trembling, and wraps his arm around her in a wordless hug. Theo reconciled with Helen, increase his relationship level, gain an experience, or earn a bonus experience. Theo reconciled with Helen. We get an experience. Increase Theo's level. That's nice. We're still looking to keep some clues so that we can help Gideon find something too. Okay. With the two siblings hugging it out, as it were, Alessandra is here, still looking for, obviously, she wants to help them find their sister, but more importantly, if Theo and Helen are united and they can find their sister, perhaps the Peters siblings will all be on her side when she needs to get the hell off this island. Feels great, guys. Fake credentials. I don't think I've shown this card off on stream before. Shown it off as if I made it. This is the other kind of clue-getting tool that Alessandra quite likes, although that is Trish Scarborough the spy in the art. She's awesome. Action. Choose an enemy at your location. Exhaust fake credentials. Parley. Test intellect 1. Gets +1 difficulty for each suspicion on fake credentials. If you succeed, discover a clue at your location. Place a resource on fake credentials as suspicion. If you fail, you must either discard it or that enemy attacks you. So, fake credentials only allows you to get clues if there's enemies. So yes, you're flashing a fake passport at a crab and you're learning stuff. Don't worry about it. Yes, for sure. This is psychic paper or whatever it's called, right? Exactly, Flower. Yes! We're getting the boat. All right. We've got some things left here. I am going to investigate this location. 4-1. I'm not going to use Fox Mask Charge yet. I'll use it the next time if I... Yep, okay, good thing I didn't use one. There's your tentacle. Alessandra trips in an open burrow here. and then shakes her head and starts looking for another way out. I'm wondering which way I want to connect up here. I'm thinking I probably want to connect this way around so that we can check this cavern and this cavern. Let's investigate again, and this time I'm going to use an offering from the Fox Mask. 6. Heal a horror. We succeed with the cultist. We get the clue. We put a location into play. Alessandra finds a way further down. Free trigger move. Whoop. We still have an action left. Let's have a look at this lower cavern. Underground pools. Investigators at underground pools spend 2 clues as a group. Remember that you found a set of footprints. Forced, after you fail a skill test while investigating it, take a horror. Well, I need another clue. You did say left and down. You are correct, Crosshair. I need one more clue in order to satisfy Gideon's thing here. So I think, yeah, get a clue, Aragwen. Love it. I think rather than spending the clues, I'm gonna try to get this one. No. Let's spend the clues first, and hopefully I can just snag an easier one somewhere further out. Because I'm gonna end the stream very shortly, but I want to at least progress the act. If the investigators found a torn dog leash and a set of footprints, immediately advance. She's alive, though I doubt Bruce is. Oh no, Helen says, gripping the torn dog leash in one hand. You follow her as she tracks a set of footprints deeper into the darkness. As your eyes readjust to the low light, you notice the footprints glow with the leavings of the bioluminescent fungus covering the cavern floors. God damn it. Sisway, be ready for anything, Ellen says. You steel yourself and keep step beside her. Damn it, weirdness! Let me be optimistic! Ahead, an unsettling click and whir tell you that you are far from alone. Choose a coastal location with no investigators, if able. Put the set-aside fungal cave location into play adjacent to that location. Choose a coastal location with no investigators. I can't choose this one. I don't want to choose this one. I am going to choose this Akwan. I'll put the fungal cove up here. Oh, the time is the big issue for sure. Put the top card of the cavern's deck into play adjacent to Fungal Cave. Repeat this until Fungal Cave is connected to 4 locations, or the cavern deck is empty. Well, I definitely shouldn't have done that then. It is now connected to 4 locations, and we're actually just going to move everything down 1. Oh, God. There we go. Okay. So I put the fungal cave into play adjacent to a coastal location, and then I filled the caverns around, so I'm now kind of at a dead end, but it's okay. That's fine. As an additional cost to enter Fungal Cave, you have to spend 2 clues as a group. Well, I love that the footsteps are just going to lead us basically back outside. Earthquake, whoa! All right. Act 2A, On the Trail. Lizzie's glowing footsteps lead to an unexplored chamber deep in the caverns, but also somehow past the town of Akwan again. Don't worry about it. Through your exploration, you now know how to lure the ravenous creatures with the glowing moss out of the darkness and into the light. Spend a clue. Choose an enemy at a connecting dark location. Move that enemy to your location. Why would I do that? Oh, because they're out of the dark and into the light. Is there a dark side to this? Yeah. The crustacean hybrid is dark when it's in the dark, I believe, yeah. We search among its people, hiding in plain sight, but watching over them in secret, parleying, protecting. When an investigator enters Fungal Cave, immediately advance. Let us do our mythos, and then we'll wrap back around to investigation, and then we'll call it here. Team, this is very exciting. No, you're right. Except did it in the notes. Haha! I knew it. These enemies have a day side and a night side and are considered to be the same enemy. If they're at a dark location, flip them to their night side. See, I feel like I did read that, but I forgot it. But that's... Yeah, hang on. Right? Right, so if it's in a cave, it's on its dark side. Or, sorry, if it's in the dark, it's on its dark side. The dark side of the crustacean hybrid is a hunter. It has the same kind of thing, basically. It's a 4/5/3, because it has extra health. For once! God damn it, Flower! Oh, of course it does! Attached enemies lose the dark trait. Attached location loses the dark trait. Damn it, the luminous growth! Alright, well that's fine. It's still a hunter, basically, right? Okay. At any rate, it doesn't matter right now, yet. It will matter soon. Right. Now, Crosshair, you said you weren't sure, but the fungal cave, at least, is visible. We know which one it is. The glowing blue mushroom caps palpitate as you approach the mouth of the chamber. Ooh. We need 2 clues to enter. We need 2 clues for Gideon. We might need a clue to lure a hybrid out of the dark and into the light, but for now it's fine. Yeah. I think that is it. So we go to the enemy phase, where hunters would hunt, but this guy is exhausted. Optimus Prime. We upkeep. I, once again, cannot upkeep normally, so I will do it the old-fashioned way, where we draw a card, we gain a resource. It's a gun. You love to see it. We go back around to Mythos, 3 Doom. Alessandra and team now have a very clear way forward. They need to find their way back through the system of tunnels and caves towards this, well, following the bioluminescent footprints towards the fungal cave, the dark lair. Exactly, Crosshair. And will they be able to help Gideon find his mysterious heirloom? Will they be able to find Lizzie deep within the fungal cave? Let's see what my encounter deck holds for me. Enervation. The sores won't heal on their own and emit a sharp chemical scent. Revelation. Test Combat 5. Reduce the difficulty of this test by 1 for each damage on you, which is 1, I think. I'll check. If you fail, you must either take 2 damage or choose the card with the highest printed cost in your hand and discard it. No, no, no. We're gonna tear this out of my. We're gonna tear this shit out of my arm. I have 2 combat. The test is combat 3, so I can still potentially pass, but I probably won't. Alessandra looks towards the footsteps and then down, catches a glint of light on her arm, looks down to see what it is. I am in dark. I am in dark, tragically. And that's okay. She looks down and sees that her arm is covered in sores from perhaps where the crustacean snapped at her. Let's test 2 to 3. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Take 2 damage. 2 damage! Who wants some damage? Bianca, you want some damage? And how about you, Theo Peters? Because Helen has a thing where she can get into scrapes with enemies to automatically evade enemies, non-elite enemies, when you enter a location. And that brings us back around to the start of the investigation phase. We need to help Gideon find his heirloom. Yeah. We need to help them find Lizzie, perhaps more importantly, and I think we're going to be able to do that. This coming week is, like all weeks, very tricky for me, team. I have a lot of things going on. However, if I find myself with a little extra minute or 2, maybe I'll wrap up this scenario lickety-split. Lizzity-split. Don't worry about that. Please join us for Drew Crew later this afternoon in about just under 2 hours' time. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. My goodness, it's Montreal by Moonlight, our Werewolf 5th campaign. Crosshair is correct. Next weekend is all Impactaroony. Again, check the Discord for all the updates, but Liz and I are away, so no Punchy, no Doomed, no Drew Crew next Friday or Saturday. But hopefully you'll be able to see us again around the place, and hopefully I'll be able to finish up this scenario during the week at some point. It's been really exciting, guys. Oh, dear. Oh, such a wet cave. Guys, it's been really exciting today. Thank you. And of course, thank you to Codad Games for both the raid and the chat. I look forward to seeing what kind of custom content you're talking about when I follow you and drop in on your stream. My friends, have a good one. We'll see you on Drew Crew momentarily, well, in a couple of hours. And we'll see you next time on Doomed. Bye-bye.